Hello everybody and welcome back to the Wild at Heart. We finished up all of our backtracking and cleanup that we needed to do in the deep woods. And so we are pretty much ready to return back to the grove and figure out what the heck happened with Greycoat and the others. So we'll just go ahead and teleport there. Wake, Kirby, good. I'm glad you've come. Are you alright? I don't have much time. I can feel the last threads of my mind snapping. Most of the others, too. They're gone. They haven't a shred of memory left, and they won't know you, I'm afraid. Aw. That's really sad. The Never is consuming the last scraps of my memory. It no longer needs me. I fear that soon I won't remember what I desperately need to tell you. Tell us what? The Green Witch. She and Big Pockets. Together, they conceived a child. When Big Pockets entered the Umbrolethia to confront the Never against everyone's warnings, and after what returned wearing his body, she hid the child away in your world where it couldn't be reached by the Never. When she returned to the deep woods, she was very ill. Before passing, the Green Witch told me you would come. She instructed me to give the book to this child, that they would help to reseal the doorway. And doubt not, Master Wake, I do believe that was meant to be you. She let you in after all. But Master Kirby here, when you arrived, only the Green Witch can open and close the door to the deep woods. She warned me. I had only just remembered. You mustn't. Yo, Greycoat. You sort of trailed off there. Oh, I'm sorry. What can I do for you, young ones? What? Hey, old-timer, what's your name? Oh, why, it must be... I seem to have forgotten. How frightfully embarrassing. Can either of you point me towards the loo? Yep, he's gone. Poor Greycoat. So our next stop is the catafalque. And here's Big Pockets. Oh no, we're in trouble. Came in here just to scare us. Are you okay? That jerk hit you pretty hard. Yeah, I'm alright. You didn't get hurt? No, it's like it missed me or something. Lucky. Well, I guess we better get going. Things are not looking good around here. Yeah. So, nobody is going to remember you, so if you talk to Can Dance or Can't Dance, they don't even know where they are. You see that girl right over there? She's wearing the same clothes as me. This is really weird. That's your twin sister. Ha! I think I'd remember if I had a twin sister, thank you very much. Wait, do I have a twin sister? I'll have no part of whatever doppelganger sorcery is happening right now. Thank you very much. More importantly, why do I feel the nagging urge to move my butt to and fro? So you can talk to the Green Shields. The only one that will remember you is Toothpicks, because she hasn't been here as long as the others. So yeah, she still kind of has a little bit of memory left over. Oh, and I still need to kill a brim cap. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay. I was working off screen to kill a bunch of the mushrooms because I'm trying to work my way through all of her bounties. And we returned everything to Scrapheap and so when you return everything, you can speak to him, even now that his memory isn't as great as it used to be. I think this script will still play to tell you that everything is on display. You'll get a piece of heartroot resin and lots of scrap. And we also get a special gift from Scrapheap as well. This is something I was only able to invest in with the funds generated from the museum. And so we get some spritamins, and this will help our spritlings become more powerful. Thank you again. This has been a hard time for all of us, but with this museum you have helped bring about a slice of normalcy. And then unfortunately, if you do talk to him after that, he doesn't, you know, remember, just like everybody else, so. Fortunately, you are able to still continue getting scrap and heartroot resin and all of those type of things. We can also talk to Litter Box because we returned her very last cat to her. So we will also get a piece of heartroot resin from her and a bunch of glint. All of my beautiful babies have returned. This is a good story. Happy Cat Day. Happy Cat Day to you too, Litter Box. So, yep, fortunately we're able to turn in all of our quests that we needed to turn in, and the grove is just full of cats purring, and I love it. So I still have quite a few upgrades, and I have 9 pieces of heartroot resin. So I'm gonna go talk to Crow's Nest, and I would like to sell a bunch of stuff. An avian terror has seemingly out of nowhere taken roost in my hat. It's okay, he's your friend. Pardon me if I doubt that, young lady. If you're not going to assist me, stranger, begone. Yeah, so that's too bad. Even Crow's Nest doesn't remember his raven buddy that he's got on top of his head there. And as you can see, I have an absolute boatload of supplies. And so I've been collecting the mesmerite, of course, because my intent is just to sell most of it. At this point, I really don't need it. I don't have anything else that I need to use kettle bombs on. So I'm just gonna sell a bunch of stuff, and hopefully I'll be able to get some upgrades with those. So I guess we'll get some health upgrades. Those are probably sort of the best choice. And I'm still missing a piece of heartroot resin, which I do believe is going to come from Toothpicks. We do have to finish up her bounties in order to be able to get a piece of heartroot resin. If there's one quest that you're going to complete before the end of the game, I would definitely recommend bringing back all the relics for Scrapheap, because having your sprites be more powerful, of course, is incredibly useful. You do get the chance at the end of the game to come back and do anything that you missed. So you do not have to do any of this right now. You absolutely can just finish the game and then come back and do all the rest of that stuff later on. But I would like to try and finish up the amount of bounties that I need to get that last piece of heartroot resin. Because if I do that, then I will have absolutely no need to do anything by the end of the game, because everything will pretty much be done. So here's some mushrooms here, thank goodness. We'll just quickly kill these and then return back to Toothpicks to get our next bounty. There's only 2 more after this. And I can probably quickly just mop those up. I went totally overboard on selling stuff, by the way, because now I think I only need like 2,800 pieces of scrap to finish doing all my upgrades. But you can tell I've spent a decent amount of time off screen working on a few things. Alright, so we got ourselves a sturdy tonic and some more scrap. We can ask her about our next bounty, which are the Fey Flies. If the Fey Flies are still flying around in Wisp Wagon, I should be able to kill 10 of them immediately and wipe that up pretty quick. I do believe that's kind of the last one that I have to do in order for her to give me the resin, and then she's got one more bounty after that, and then it's all finished and taken care of. So I'm gonna try my luck at Wisp Wagon. And remember that when you're doing these bounties for Toothpicks, if you don't remember the name of an enemy, or you're not quite sure what you're looking for, then you would just check your book and it would tell you. So the Fey Flies are the flying enemies that come out of hives. I can only think of 4 locations of hives off the top of my head. There's 2 here in Wisp Wagon. There's 1 in the Frost Fields, and then there's 1 in the Central Deep Woods. So I brought along a bunch of barblings to knock these guys out of the sky a little bit quicker. And rather than attack the hive, I'm gonna wait for more Fey Flies to come out. I'm gonna try and get as many Fey Flies as possible to come out of the hive. There is a limit. They don't just endlessly spit these guys out. But I should be able to get 3 or 4 out of this hive. Yeah, there's 1 more. Perfect. And you can see now that the upgrade we got from Scrapheap is really, really useful. I feel like they're much stronger. It didn't seem to take them that long to take care of those enemies at all, which is fantastic. So there's that hive there. It looks like we got a maximum of 4. And then there's a bunch of them flying around over here. I'll probably just use the Lunolings on the stone here. There should be a bunch of them up here. So here's another hive. And I think throughout the course of the game, I think I've covered every single bounty that she's had. I've at the very least just told everybody the one that I'm working on and kind of the order that they're in. So bounty hunting is kind of one of those side things that, you know, can kind of get forgotten about because it's just kind of in the background. But you do need to do most of, if not all of her bounties to be able to get all of your upgrades. Just like you need to get all of Litter Box's cats, and you need to be able to complete the Grove Trove. So that's all I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna quickly warp over to the Central Deep Woods. There is a hive over by where we found our water wheel. And I only need, I think, 2 or 3 more kills before I fulfill the bounty, so that should take care of that pretty quickly. So we just head west from the teleporter. And if we recall, there is a hive up here. And sometimes it's hard to remember the location of enemies because if you look at the locations in the book, they're kind of just generalized. It'll kind of tell you that they're found in the common, or they're found in frost fields, or in caves, or whatever. So it doesn't really tell you exactly where to find them. And the first time playing this, I think that was the most frustrating part of trying to do the bounties for me, was just that I was having a hard time remembering where in the world all these things were after being in the deep woods for so long. But now that I've played this for so long, I do remember where enough enemies are to be able to figure out how to do these bounties. So that was enough Fae flies killed. We're gonna return to Toothpicks, and I'm hoping that she'll give us our resin. Ugh, I was trying to just go past these guys. It's so annoying. I just want to take my sprites and leave. I don't need to fight anything anymore. I'm near the end of the game. All this glint and all of the scrap means nothing to me. Enemies like that, when they're directly in your way, are really hard to ignore, unfortunately. So we'll turn in that bounty. We get another recall tonic, and it looks like I have to do the last bounty for her. That's kind of a bummer, but this one is actually pretty easy. We need to kill one Grog Thud, which are the golem-looking enemies, and there's actually only 3 of them in the game, from what I remember. There's one over in Wisp Wagon. There is one in this area right here in the Central Deep Woods, and then there is one over at the Crystal Fall Coast. I think the one at the Crystal Fall Coast has probably respawned by now. So we'll try there. And I have a sturdy tonic in my inventory. I'll probably go ahead and craft myself a power tonic just to kind of help out. And we will need some of our twiglings here to clear the way for us. If we recall, the Grog Thud is this way, just west past our camp. In this area here, you can see that he has respawned. We haven't been over here in a while, so I would hope so. Alright. Let's take him down. You can see with the combination of the tonic and the new ability that Scrapheap gave us, that worked very, very effectively. That took absolutely no time whatsoever. I think it probably took longer to warp and to get here than it did to fight him, so I would say we're pretty well prepared for the final boss. We're very, very strong. I have no idea. I have like one spriteling that I lost. I will use the Huh, interesting. I was gonna use the stone to bring my spriteling back, but it says that there's no wayward spritelings, which is silly. Because of course there are. There's one right here who's freaking out for whatever reason. Go back and grab him. Go back to the grove. It's nighttime now, so that's really, really good timing. And then finally, after all that work, we should be able to finally get the last of what Toothpicks has for us. I've got something special to give you. I know that it's special because I know I'm not supposed to have it. And therefore, it's probably best if no one knows that I had it. Understand? Our lips are sealed. A piece of some ancient warden's tech. I don't understand how it works, but I find it to be most handy in getting around the deep woods. What's it do? Basically, it's just going to allow us to warp from anywhere. So this is Toothpicks' gift to us, and now we don't have to rely on warp pads. We can warp anywhere we want from anywhere. So there's that. She's gonna give us our final piece of heartroot resin, and finally we can get our very last upgrade before we go to take on the Never. So there we are, all upgrades purchased. You will get achievements for finishing all of the upgrades. So all of our health, Kirby's lantern, Wake's vacuum, and we had bag upgrades. So, ladies and gents, that is pretty much everything completed in this game, and we are finally ready to move on and go to our final boss, which is only a few steps away over in the catafalque. So I am going to stop it here in the grove. I'm going to prepare, and then when we return, we will finally go and face off against the Never. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.